Welcome back. For the first time in history, the U.S. Air Force is training more pilots to fly drones than manned military planes. And while they are best known for their military missions overseas, scientists are actually developing a whole new generation of drones that could apparently revolutionize our lives here at home. PBS's Nova, they gained rare access to some of the people developing the new drone technology, who explain how unmanned aircraft, like what you're looking at, can have some serious advantages over those with pilots on board.
In terms of acrobatics, I think it'll be hard to beat what a robot can do. The neuromuscular system in the human body, there may be delays of the order of 80 milliseconds to 200 milliseconds before you actually take an action in response to what you see. Well, robots have this unfair advantage. They can do these computations hundreds of times a second. So your delays are of the order of a millisecond and perhaps even less.
Amazing technology. Vijay Kumar, he is a robotics expert and a professor at the University of Pennsylvania School of Engineering and Applied Science. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So the Nova Special makes a point of pointing out that this technology is just in its infancy. Where is it headed?
That's correct. It's just starting. What we're doing is creating these robots, which are very different from the remotely piloted vehicles that you see, which you read about in the press. So these are autonomous, they're small, they're highly maneuverable, and they can navigate indoors in environments like in which you are and I am right now. And so that makes them a very, very powerful tool for emergency response, for search and rescue, and many other applications.
And you said that the holy grail of this technology is to allow these, to move about without GPS technology.
That's correct. So what these robots have are sensors that can actually detect features in the environment like doors, windows, and they're able to localize with respect to these features. So they don't need any satellites telling them where they are. They have the cameras and the sensors that allow them to figure out where they are in the environment and reason about the environment and take actions that remotely located human operators just cannot.
So they can sense their environment. John, I know that you're a pilot. What do you think about this technology?
Well, I love it. It's fascinating. But what about privacy concerns? I'm sure there are a lot of people who are wondering, is there going to be a drone flying over my house or my apartment building, keeping an eye on, what I'm having for breakfast?
Well, that's indeed an important question. As with any other technology, you can always use it in ways it was not intended. But I have to remind you that today we're lots and lots of people with cell phones taking pictures, and the odds of having a picture of you showing up the internet without your knowing about it are pretty high. Also, we have security cameras that are located all over campuses. For example, at the University of Pennsylvania, there are cameras that are going to track you as you walk from one place to another, and this is just part of the world we live in. So we have to get used to some of this, and other things we have to think about how we might legislate, how we might have policies that might actually limit the way this data is used.
And what about the way that this data is currently benefiting, people like first responders?
Well, right now, as I said before, this technology is really in a stage of infancy. But I imagine a day where the first responders would really be robots. Imagine a gunshot going off or a 911 call, and before you know it, there's a swarm of these robots with cameras, with microphones that have the ears and eyes on the site, providing information to human first responders that eventually do arrive on the spot.
It is amazing stuff to watch. Thank you so much for joining us, and we appreciate it. By the way,
Thank you very much for inviting me.
You can catch Nova's Rise of the Drones tonight. It airs at 9 p.m. Eastern on PBS.